It is Friday, March 1st, and it is the first official day of Realmathon, and I'm so excited to officially start this readathon. If you didn't watch my March TBR video, go ahead and check that out because that is going to be mostly, if not hopefully all, of the books that you will be seeing from me in these vlogs for the next couple weeks. And I talk a little bit more about the readathon there. It is a month-long readathon hosted by Covers with Cassidy. I will link her video and her channel down below so you can watch that. It's not too late to join. And yeah, so I'm so excited. I am going to hop on some sprints shortly once I get off of here. I will likely be vlogging this whole readathon all month. So most of my videos, if not all of my videos, other than the one that goes up before this, will be vlogs. So I'm gonna do weekly vlogs from here on out for the rest of March for kind of like the readathon. So I probably won't have a March wrap-up video because hopefully I will be sharing all of the books that I read in the month throughout these vlogs. So for this vlog, we are starting with 2 books. I did already start 2 books today, and I started Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I am listening to this one through audiobook. I am currently on page 176 on chapter 19. So this is the 7th book of the Throne of Glass series. It's like the 8th if you want to include the prequel. And it's the final concluding book to Throne of Glass, and I'm really excited to finish this series. I very recently finished Tower of Dawn like a few days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, that one was super boring for me. It was a bit of a slog. It just like, it followed characters and like relationships that I just wasn't really invested in and just like didn't really care about, to be honest. But I had to read it because I knew that there was going to be information that we needed. It was a bit of a slog to get through, but I wanted to just go ahead and jump right into Kingdom of Ash, and I'm already enjoying this one so much more. We're back with all of our characters, and so far it is very war-based and people plotting and scheming for battles and stuff like that, but we get glimpses into all of our characters in this universe, and I'm really excited. I'm really intrigued by it so far. I'm expecting it to be like just super action-packed and wild and for a lot of stuff to happen. So I am currently listening to this one on audiobook. It'll probably take me a couple vlogs to finish this one because I mostly listen to my audiobooks just when I'm driving in my car. Sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook if I'm doing like a puzzle or something else that like doesn't take as much of my attention. I will listen to an audiobook while I do that, but it's not as common. So this probably will take me a couple weeks to get through. I think the audiobook has like 15 or 16 hours left at the speed that I'm listening to it. So yeah, I am reading this and I will give minor updates along the way. But so far I am really enjoying it so much more than Tower of Dawn. And yeah, okay, so there's that. Tonight though, I am only going to be reading my physical read, which is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I also started this one yesterday and I read a lot today. I'm actually like in the middle of a chapter. I just stopped on page 118. It's in the middle of chapter 6. So this book is actually very recently purchased for me. I only bought it like a few weeks ago. And all I really knew going into it was that it had to do with like a magic school and there's like a potential romance. So that's all I really went in knowing. So now that I've read some of it, we follow our main character, Galadriel, I think is how you say her name, but people call her Elle, so I'm going to call her Elle. We follow our main character, Elle, and she is very pessimistic, a little bit bitter, just kind of like a negative thinking character, which I don't mind. I actually like sometimes. So I actually like her. I don't mind it. She's very like sarcastic and that kind of situation. So we're following her and she is in this magic school, which is very interesting because there's like no teachers at the school. These kids literally just one day blip into this school, and the way that the school is built is very strange. There's even like a blueprint diagram of the school. The rooms move and the floors rotate depending on what like year they're in. I don't know. So far, it is like very detailed, and it is like deep diving into the magic system. Honestly, so far not much has happened other than some character interactions. Everything else so far has been explaining the magic, and it is very thought out. It is very in depth. There's a lot going on. Pretty much there's like, I don't want to say like good and bad magic, but I guess kind of. And there's all these weird magic little things called mals or mals that go after magic people because they're drawn to like their energy. So these kids literally have to kill off all these things that are constantly going after them. They also have to like kind of teach themselves, and then there's this void, and I don't know. It is very, very involved, and I don't know that I fully understand it yet, but I'm getting there for sure. But it is very involved. So this definitely is not going to be a book for everybody because so far, again, not much has happened other than character interactions. It's almost like it kind of gives me a little bit, like just a little bit of like Harry Potter meets Hunger Games. And I mean that so minimally because it's pretty much just like at a magic school, but then there's like all this scheming going on. There's kids dying all the time. They don't care if each other dies. Like they kind of want each other to die because graduating from the school is also very competitive because once you graduate, they need to join these enclaves. What I've surmised, they're pretty much groups of magic beings that are very well protected from, again, these creatures that are constantly drawn towards magic energy. I don't know. It's very involved, I'm gonna be honest. So we follow our main character, Elle, and there's this other boy in the school called Orion Lake, and he is pretty much the popular kid and very well-off family. He comes from like a very, I don't know, prestigious enclave. And so everybody just kind of follows him around and kisses his butt and whatever. And him and Elle pretty much end up crossing paths because he kind of like saves her from a couple of those like creature things, and some other stuff happens. So they end up kind of forming a connection that's very reluctant. I don't know if like a romance will come from that or not, or if it's just going to be like a connection or a friendship. But I kind of assumed it was a fantasy romance, but I don't really know. But I am enjoying it so far, but I do hope that some more stuff happens soon. And there's some other conflicts outside of just like our character's personal conflicts with how she feels about people, pretty much. That's pretty much the main conflict right now, is our main character is quite an outcast and she really needs to form alliances for graduation and for after school. And she needs to like survive school. So like A Deadly Education, very fitting title because they're just constantly trying to survive, honestly. So very interesting so far. I'm gonna keep reading this for the rest of the night. Other than that, I don't know what I will be reading next. We'll look through my stack when we get there. But for now, I'm going to read this for the rest of the night. I'm in my bed, I'm gonna snuggle, I'm gonna snack, and that's it.
Deadly Education, I love that one. Lots of pizza over like the last couple days, but teriyaki steak and rice sounds really good. That sounds really good.
I received some very exciting packages, so I'm going to open them with you guys. I have my fairyloot subscription, which is for the book-only adult and young adult subscription, and this is the February box. And then this is another book that I actually think is also in the fairyloot box, but I also wanted the original cover because I think it's so pretty. And I don't know what the fairyloot one is gonna look like. And anyways, I'm gonna open this one first because I know for sure what's in here and what it looks like. I do not have it on my March TBR. And part of me kind of wishes I put it on there because I am very interested in reading this book. So the reason I also wanted to get the regular one is the first edition is so pretty. Here it is. So the book is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen. I think that this is so stunning, but the first edition has these blue, like, I don't know, they're not like totally foiled, but I guess kind of foiled edges. And they are so pretty. I actually didn't know that they were going to be kind of like foiled. I just saw that they were going to be blue. But it's so pretty. The Naked book has a little embossing on it. And I think it is so pretty. I really love this cover. I think that that is stunning. Do I know what this is about? Very minimally. All I think I know is it is a Vikings-based fantasy romance, and I think that sounds fantastic, and I'm really excited to read this. I don't know how many books it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be multiple. It just says Saga of the Unfated Book 1. So, new book, and I'm really excited. So then we open fairyloot because I think this book is the adult book for the fairyloot, and I'm so curious what it's gonna look like. It did say it was gonna be like an exclusive redesigned cover. And I don't think I have any idea what the young adult book is gonna be. I see black sprayed edges. I don't know which this is, if it's the young adult or the adults. Ooh. The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli, maybe? It says, a moth to flame, a witch to burn. Ooh, I like that tagline. That sounds interesting. I don't know what this is or what it's about. Ooh, the edges are so pretty. Oh my goodness. I love those. And then the bottom and top are just black, but those are stunning edges. Oh, it's a reversible cover too. Ooh, the Naked book's pretty. Ooh, okay. I like the reverse. I like this side better, actually. The other side's pretty, but I don't prefer faces on my covers, and I think that this one is very pretty. I really like the color scheme. The Naked book is also very pretty. Black with like kind of a rose gold bronze foiling situation. Very pretty. Character art and pages. Exact same on the other side. Ooh. So this has to be the YA. Okay, it says, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic. And Rune must hide what she is. And then she spends her nights as Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay, so it looks like it's gonna be like a witch and witch hunter romance. I'm interested in this, actually. I hope it's good. I think that it's really pretty. Okay, I'm excited. Anyways, next book. Here it is. Okay. I definitely am glad that I bought the original cover. I definitely like the original cover way more. This is just kind of like boring to me. But no, I was gonna say maybe it would count as 50% white, but it's kind of like a blue washed white. I don't know if you can tell. So it's a little bit more blue, I guess, than white. Because I was gonna say maybe if I can count this as white, I'll read this one. But I mean, I'm so glad that I bought this one. No regrets there at all. Oh, but actually maybe there's a reverse cover? No. No reverse cover. That kind of sucks. But here's the edges. Pretty cool. It's the same all around. The character art on the inside pages is pretty. Ooh. Yeah, I like the character art on the end pages. And then the Naked is just on the front. There's nothing on the back. Yeah. I definitely prefer the original compared to Fairyloot's edition of it, for sure. But that's okay because I have both. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to open my books because my packages were sitting there and I could not wait any longer. So I'm excited for my new books. Back to reading. I am really, really far into A Deadly Education. I'm actually probably going to finish it tonight. After I get off here, I'm going to just read the rest of the night. And I honestly might even be able to start the next book. But I'm on page 262. Again, I'm in the middle of a chapter. Let's see. I'm in the middle of chapter 12. So yes, this is like a weird spot to give an update for because I have like 50 pages left. But I want to talk about it while the sun's still up because it's slowly but surely going down. So I am really enjoying this. I will say it is way more like academic feeling than I thought it would be, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I am enjoying it. But I would say as somebody who does not read like dark academia or like academic leaning books, I feel like this is very much like academic. It almost feels like, which I have not read this yet, so it's a very presumptuous comparison. But I feel like this is what Olivia Wilde's Encyclopedia, I think that's the book. I feel like this has the same type of vibe as that, but this is kind of like dark compared to that one. But I don't know. That's a complete presumption. But my main point is just that it's very like academic feeling. Like we're following Elle through her lessons. She's talking about the languages she's learning and the papers she's doing. But then also it's very, very embedded in kind of like this social gaming and social scheming that's happening. Like you have to make all these alliances and you have to trade for things. So it is very, very much like magic, academia, and like social scheming. So that's what this book is, which is very different than what I expected. I kind of just expected like a fantasy romance. And speaking of that, there's no romance, at least as of now. Maybe something will happen in future books. I did look into this and it is a trilogy, which I did know that there was at least another book. I just didn't know if it was ending with a trilogy with like a third book. And from what I can gather, it seems like it's just a trilogy with the 3 books. And when I was looking into that, it turns out this is a YA fantasy, which makes sense a little bit because I was going to say that it doesn't feel super dark and like super, it's not like graphic or anything. But like it doesn't feel YA in like a bad way either. But it did just feel like a little bit younger. But again, just because it wasn't getting super dark or like it wasn't pushing this romance or anything like that. So it did feel a little bit different. And now it makes sense because it is a YA, which is crazy because I bought this from Barnes & Noble just in like the normal fantasy section. Like it was not in the YA section, and they usually like separate all of that out, I thought. So that was a surprise, but it also made sense. But it doesn't read like a YA necessarily. I'm really liking it, and I'm glad I didn't know that it was like very academic to begin with, because I feel like when I hear a book is very like academic feeling, which I don't even know if I'm using the terminology right, because I don't read like dark academia and stuff like that. Like I kind of want to, but a part of me feels like that's boring, but it turns out it's not, because I'm really not bored with this story, but I can see why some people would be. I don't think that this is going to be a book for everybody, because it's definitely not like a typical fantasy, kind of like what I expected. It's very school driven and everything else that I've already said. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. It's feeling like a 4-star. I feel like that's probably going to be what the rating is, considering I only have 50 pages left. I think it was a really great start to a trilogy. I'm really excited for the sequel. I feel like the sequel is going to be really good, because now we have our characters established and our friendships and relationships and allies and stuff are all established. And I'm really excited to see what happens with the second book. But I got to finish this one first. So I wanted to hop on here, give you guys a quick little update, because I am about to finish this. I will confirm my final rating with you guys and maybe even pick out the next book. We'll probably definitely pick out the next book, because I need to have a book prepped for tomorrow, even if I don't start it tonight. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to keep reading and I'll get back to you. So I finished A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, and look at these corners. You see those? Those little teeth marks? Yeah, one of my cats chewed my book, but that's okay. So I finished this book and I ended up really enjoying it. I don't have like much more to say. I'm pretty much mirroring the same thoughts that I had along the way. I will say it did take me a second to get used to the writing style, but once I was in it, I did really enjoy it. And once I kind of realized that this was going to be very like academic feeling, very just magic school feeling, I got a lot more like into it and I did really enjoy it. I liked the characters, and yeah, I'm excited to check out the rest of the trilogy. I do want to check out some of Naomi Novik's adult works and kind of see how they differ. Enjoyed it, had a fun time. So I wanted to kind of figure out the points right now. I still have to like fully log it in, but I just wanted to pull up the list to at least kind of get an idea of how many points that this will give me. I will log it later. I'm just like not going to right now. I'm actually waiting for my husband because we're gonna go out to dinner in a little bit. So let me pull out the graphic. And yes, I do still need to make a reading journal layout. I know I'm gonna do it first thing tomorrow. So first things first is this book is over 300 pages, so that's 10 points right there. We have an object on the cover, so that's 10 books, and it takes place in a school, so that's 10 books, so that's, or 10 points. So that's 30 points there. I would count this as new to TBR because this is actually one of the most recent books that I purchased. So it's definitely the newest book to my physical TBR. So I'm going to include that for bonus points. So that's +2. So we're at 32 points, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 letters in the title. And if you have an even amount of letters in the title, you get +3. So there's that. So we're at +3, so 35 points. This is also a book that I paid for, so that's +4 points. So I think 36 points if I'm not losing track. And this is actually a Cassidy favorite. I don't remember if she gave it 4 or 5 stars, but it's a Cassidy favorite, so that's +5. So I think we're at 41 points. I might end up being wrong once I like actually write this stuff down, but I think it's 41 points. So anyways, then I started Intercepts. I decided to go for Intercepts on my Kindle, so I started reading that. I am at approximately 40% into the book. So this story is a horror novel, but it's also kind of listed as like a horror sci-fi on Goodreads. So in this book, we end up following our main character, Joe. I think his name's Joe. Joe, who is, I guess, the supervisor of this seemingly secret facility. And it seems like it might be like a secret government agency, that kind of thing, where they're down in a bunker pretty much. And it seems like they're either researching or experimenting or testing on subjects in said facility. And his job is very secretive and all of that. His ex-wife ends up offing herself, and so then he has to go and get his daughter Riley, and kind of weird stuff's going on pretty much. So there's kind of this aspect. We as the readers are trying to figure out what this like facility truly is and what they're actually doing. And then there's this other aspect with like Joe and his family dynamics. I will say this book popped off right away with some body horror. This book definitely has quite a bit of body horror, like gore going on, a lot of blood, stuff like that. So if you're into that, this book has quite a bit of it, and it does read really fast. I would kind of consider this a popcorn read. I'm still not fully sure what's going on. I have some theories. I don't know if it's going to be more kind of like CIA, where it's just government doing stuff, or if it's like aliens, maybe aliens will become involved. I don't really know what to expect, and I don't know where the story is really going. The way that this book opens kind of gave me Clockwork Orange vibes. It was very experimental in that way, if you've ever read or I guess watched Clockwork Orange, but I've never watched the movie, so I don't know how much it mirrors the actual book, but it kind of like particular scene was very reminiscent of the opening scene for this book. And there's just a lot of like psychological stuff going on, which I do really enjoy. The daughter's going through some stuff and potentially seeing some stuff and hearing some things after her mom offed herself. So you're kind of trying to figure out what that's all about as well. So I like the characters so far. It's a really easy read and I'm having a good time with it. So I'm going to get back to that. And that's it right now. That's all I have to update you guys. I finished a book. I'm working on finishing a book. I am definitely going to journal first thing tomorrow. Like I said, me and my husband are about to go out to dinner, so I'm going to go eat, and when I get home, I will definitely read some more and see how far I get. Like I said, it reads pretty fast, so I feel pretty good about being able to finish it probably sometime tomorrow, because I have all the rest of today, and I feel like at some point tomorrow I should be able to finish it. So there's that, and I will check back with you guys either if I have a reading update for Intercepts, if I feel like I want to say something more about the story, or it also seems like it might be a story where I just kind of like wait till the end to give you guys my final thoughts. We'll see. So I will talk to you guys then. It is the next day, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling not great, just like tired, and I don't want to do anything, and I'm just like kind of blah. I'm not like sick, but I'm just like slumpy over life, I guess. So I apologize if my energy seems low. It's because it is. But anyways, I did end up finishing Intercepts last night by TJ Payne. So I did enjoy it overall. I think it was a fun, quick popcorn read, like I said before. So it was very entertaining the whole way through. I don't know that I necessarily love the direction it took. I think a different direction could have been more fun, but I also didn't hate it either. And it did end up having quite a bit of psychological stuff going on, which I do really enjoy. There was a lot of like psychological distress that a lot of the characters were going through, stuff with like hearing things and hallucinations, and that stuff is effective on me. So my phone is buzzing. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So what was I saying? Oh, I finished Intercepts, and yeah, really enjoyed it. The psychological stuff was just super effective for me, and it is quite like gory, and there's quite a bit of body horror in it. As far as like the sci-fi stuff goes, because it is like technically listed as like horror sci-fi on Goodreads, I am not a big reader of sci-fi, so my gauge is not great. But I would say the sci-fi is very, very minimal, if any, if you ask a sci-fi reader, honestly. So I did kind of want it to feel a little bit more in that sci-fi territory. But anyways, overall, very entertaining, and it was fun. I'm giving it 3 stars. I have recently kind of reevaluated what my 3 stars mean to me, and I feel like I have 3 different categories of 3 stars. A book that was just kind of like meh, a book that I liked but had a few issues with, and then books that were just like okay. And this one was like, I kind of just liked it. Like I didn't necessarily have many issues with it, but I wasn't like falling over myself for any particular thing either. So it's kind of like that. I think I'm going to start shifting my books that were very like meh to more of a like 2.5 area. And once it gets into things that like I truly didn't like in the book, we're leaning into a 2 star. Okay, so bear with me with my 3 stars. I feel like my 3-star ratings are all over the place, but 3 stars still means I liked it, and I would recommend it to particular people. I just didn't really like it, and I just didn't love it. So what now? Now I'm going to journal. So I have an absolute mess in front of me. I feel like I'm the messiest journaling person ever. I have to have all my stuff laid out. I have to like see things next to each other. Just all my options are always out instead of just like everyone has their cute little like just sets of stuff, like one set of stickers. I'm like, no, I need to see everything I own. So I'm always such a mess when I do it. So I did actually already do most of my February wrap-up stuff. So if you're curious, I did like my books read, which I kept it very simple this month. And I did actually include my star ratings underneath them, which I didn't do last month, but I kind of like it. Don't mind how absolutely horrendous these stars are. My pen wasn't working just in that spot alone. So I did that, and I did this page because I did DNF a book, which I freaking forgot to talk about in my February wrap-up. Oh my God, I always forget to talk about my DNFs. Forgot to talk about my DNF in my February wrap-up. But I did DNF a book, and I decided to say when I DNF'd it, why I DNF'd it, and if I would ever pick it up again. And then I have my books bought section, which I always do. I do have the stats page left, but honestly, I don't feel like doing it right now. So we're gonna go, oh, and I left a blank spread because I'm putting a chlorine dedicated spread there. And then we're gonna go into March, which I did outline the calendar. So we're gonna decorate that, fill it out a little bit more. And then we're gonna do like a realmathon spread with all my goodies that I have here. And then we're gonna do like possible reads, and then the section for my actual books read, along with like the points calculator and stuff. So we're gonna set those up. So that's the plan. My theme is kind of like fantasy-esque. I just feel like Realmathon is leaning into that because this is our picture. This is the map. So I printed that out. Somebody on my team time, what's up? Somebody on my team ended up making these really cute like library cards with the prompts on them. So I printed those out too to include with the points. And I ordered, special for this, I ordered washi tape, and there was like a shit ton in here. I think it was only like 12 bucks though. So I wanted to kind of do, I don't know, like a, you know, this thing, is it like cottagey? I don't know. It, like kind of like dark academia, maybe. I don't know. It's like cottage academia, maybe. I think that that's what I'm going for. But I have some really cute ones. Like this one, I feel like will be super useful. And even beyond like this spread, that'll be great. And then, I don't know, I got some like other kind of cute ones in here. But I kind of want to do like vintage feeling, you know, you get the idea. We'll see how it comes together, honestly. And then I got this packet of stickers from Amazon, which are like vintage feeling stickers. So I don't know, I feel like some of them might be cute. Like there's a mushroom. Maybe that'll go. And then some, like, we have some statue ones, which is leaning into, I feel like, that academic situation. There's this little stopwatch, which is cute because I'm on teen time, so I definitely want to try to use that somewhere. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, here's another little stopwatch clock thing. Cool. And like this is kind of like dark academia feeling, like the vintage cottage core. I don't know, I'm not good at aesthetics, okay? I'm not good at aesthetics. I'm not an aesthetic person. I feel like I have too many things that I like, so I can never stick to one thing, and I end up merging a bunch of things together. But I'm kind of laying out my stuff so I can see it as I go, because like I said, I have to see everything together. And yeah, so I will be including footage of me actually doing the March stuff. I'm gonna find a good angle, hopefully. I'm kind of really bad at doing the journaling content, to be honest. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set you guys up in a better spot. And then while I'm doing this, I'm going to listen to my audiobook for Kingdom of Ash. I'm really far into it. I don't know the exact percentage because Audible doesn't give you the percentage, which I kind of hate. I don't know why it would be so hard to give us the percentage, but I do have it marked in my physical book, but it's upstairs. I don't feel like grabbing it. So I have 6 hours and 48 minutes left at 1.85 speed. So I'm going to listen to that. I'll probably listen to another hour or so. Who knows how this goes. And so I won't finish that for this vlog, but I will finish it for the next vlog. So I'm going to do the journaling, and then since I finished Intercepts, I do need to pick out my next physical book. So we'll talk about that after the journaling. And that'll probably be the end of this vlog because it's technically the end of the first week of realmathon. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the journaling, and we'll catch back up, kind of summarize, and give you guys an idea of where we're going for next week. And yeah, so to the journal. My journal, and I love the way it turned out. I think it looks so cute. I think I like the calendar and this page the best, honestly, but I still do like the way that the actual Readathon spread came out. I really like it. I like this aesthetic a lot. It's very fun. So I have to go in and like list out the books that I already had on my TBR. And then on this page, I will be putting like the actual pictures of the books along with the page count and like the points that each book gets me and then the rating. So yeah, that's the journal, and I'm really happy with it. So moving on from there. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show you guys. I forgot to open these with you, but I ordered some of the bookmarks for the Readathon. So obviously I had to get the Team Time one. Oh, it's upside down, technically. And I think it's so cute. The foiling on these bookmarks is like literally a mirror. It is like insanely foiled. And then I did get a copy of the Shadows one because it's so cute. I had to. And then I got one for the Blood team as well. And then I actually did order the bookmarks from Melanor for the 72-hour in the Reading Nook Readathon. Did I do that Readathon? No. I didn't do the readathon. Readathons that happen in the span of like 72 hours or just like 4 days, those ones stress me out because I don't read very fast. So like if I'm given such a limited time to read, unless like I for some reason do not have work at all and like my husband's not in the house, that's the only way I feel like I would be able to get a good amount of books read in such a limited amount of time. But that's why I like the month-long readathons. It's slightly less pressure for me, but I loved the bookmarks, so I ordered those as well. So I got a bunch of new bookmarks, and then since I'm showing you guys some bookish stuff, I did recently get 2 new book sleeves too, and I think that they're so cute. This one has a bunch of strawberries on it, and this one has little bats. And these are both like in the large size, so I did get some more book sleeves as well. So that's some bookish stuff that I got recently. Anyways, for reading, I have to pick out my next book, which I won't finish reading in this vlog, but I figured I would, you know, end this with my next pick, and then I'm going to turn this off and immediately start the next vlog. But I'm kind of in a little bit of a conundrum because I don't know what I want to read. I did technically start Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I'm only on page 25. I'm only on page 25, so I'm very early on into it. I'm just like, don't know what I feel like reading. Nothing's really calling to me at all. This did win a poll pick, so I figured I would start this, and it is due back to the library in like 4 days. I do also have the audiobook though. That is not due for like another 2 weeks or something. So the physical is due pretty soon, but the audio, I still have quite a bit of time on, so I don't feel like as pressured to start this right away. I just like don't know how I'm feeling. So the other 2 books is like maybe I want to do Death Valley by Melissa Broder, mostly because I like don't know what else I want to read. So maybe this will just be good. This is supposed to be just kind of very weird, a woman lost in a desert, potentially hallucinating, that kind of stuff. So, and it's like a quick read. So maybe that's what I need too, is just like a nice quick read. I don't know. But then I also recently bought Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. So this is the second book in the duology to The Shepherd King. I read One Dark Window last year, and I kind of want to read this too. Now, this was not on my March TBR stack, so that's one thing that's holding me back from reading this one, but I also kind of do feel drawn towards more of like a gothic feeling book, if anything, just because I'm feeling moody. Like, I don't know what mood I'm in, but I'm moody, so maybe something that's like gothic and moody itself is what I need. Even kind of maybe this is standing out a little bit, Starve Acre by Andrew Michael Hurley. So this is like a folk horror, but it is short and the text is quite big, so it'd be a very quick read. It's under 300 pages. Maybe this is what I need too. I don't know. I don't know what I want to read, but this is kind of like the stack that I at least slimmed it down to, and I did technically start Powerless, so I might just like keep reading Powerless, and if I'm really still not feeling it, move on to another one and just kind of like do the audiobook for Powerless or something once I finish Kingdom of Ash. Yeah, so I guess we didn't really figure out what I'm gonna read next, so stay tuned for the next vlog where I actually decide to read one of these, because I need to start something today. And then also, just as like a little preview, I will also be starting the next vlog by opening my Nightworms package, and one that I'm super excited for, my Twisted Retreat package. So both of these are horror book subscription boxes, and I'm super excited. Twisted Retreat, this is my first box from them, which I specifically ordered because the book just sounded so good. Maybe I should read that. Maybe I should read the book in here. I know it's not on the TBR, and I don't know that it will count for any extra points because I don't know what the book looks like in terms of like my team bonus points, but maybe that's what I want to read. I don't know. Stay tuned, okay? Because that's all gonna happen in next week's vlog. Oh, you know what? I did not go through my points for intercepts with you guys. Okay, let's do that because I haven't logged any of my books yet. I still need to do that. So intercepts. Well, we get plus 10 for white on the cover, plus 10 because it is between 201 and 400 pages, so we're at 20. So that's it for cover wise. Let's see. Do we have more defending or more attack points? Okay, so if I used it for defending points, it would be plus 11 because it's new to TBR, which is 2 points. It has an even number of letters in the title, so that's 3 additional points, so we're at 5 points. I would consider it a popcorn read. I already kind of said it was, so that's plus 3, so that would be 8 points. And then I would also consider a required read because it was also going to help me with my monthly goal of reading a KU book. So that's another plus 3, so that would be 11 points. So if I used it as bonus points for defending points, it would be 11. Now if I used it for attacking points, let's see, we have new to you author, so that's minus 1. Book featuring death, so that's minus 2, so we're at minus 3. One word title, so that's minus another 3, so that's minus 6. Author uses initials, so that's minus 5 because it's by TJ Payne, so minus 11. And part of me wants to also say it's isolated setting just because it takes place pretty much, well, I guess we do go to the dad's house. I was going to say it kind of takes place in an isolated setting because it takes place in this like secret bunker place, the facility, and it mostly takes place there, but I guess we do go to the dad's house. So I don't know if it'd be isolated enough. So it's either minus 11 or minus 16 if I included isolated setting. So I don't know. I'll ask my team if they think that that would be considered isolated setting and work from there. So I just want to go through the points with that since I did that for A Deadly Education. Now is the end of the video, and that is it. So if you made it to this point in the video, leave me like a stopwatch emoji or a clock emoji, anything that has to do with time. Leave that down below so that I know. If you haven't yet, please give the video a like, subscribe for future content, turn on the bell notification, all the fun YouTube things that help your girl out. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!